I want to shout out to the girls who called about the mansion party. Jesse, are you guys still driving? Jesse, Karina, Cindy, and Renee from Corona, Queens. You guys, I want to give you free passes to the Valentine's party this Friday night at the Robert Treat Hotel in Newark, New Jersey. The girls were at the mansion party. They drove down to enjoy All-Star Weekend here from New York. They said they came to the mansion party because they knew that I was going to be there. And, you know, all I can say about the mansion party is that that was not my party. You know, like I tried to explain to the girls, you know, I was, you know, Wendy for hire that night. I was a hired person, like the caterers, like the DJ, like, you know, everybody else. And so, you know, I was there and you know, I had my Pimp Juice cup. I want to shout out to Little John. Pimp Juice cups were delivered to the house by FedEx. The woman who makes them in Chicago, she sent them to the house. Little John, you know, hooked us up with them and stuff. And so they're very nice. And might I add that they're so big that, like, I know my husband's fits a full bottle of champagne. You know, mine fits about a half a bottle of champagne. So you don't have to go back and forth. What a pain in the behind, though, traveling with those Pimp Juice cups. Like, you know, because, they can't clank on anything. They, I mean, it's like traveling with a newborn. You know what I'm saying? It's like traveling with a newborn baby. But that was a good look. So, girls, this is what I need you to do. Get back to us at some point this week so we can put you all's names down on the guest list, okay? Jesse, Karina, Cindy, and Renee in Corona, Queens. I want you guys to come be my guest for the WBLS Live broadcast Friday night, Valentine's night. It's for the lover in you, for couples. It's for single people. It's for anybody who just wants to come out and have a good time on a Friday night. DJ Anton Quaz doing the music. And once again, that party's going to be at the Robert Treat Hotel in Newark, New Jersey. Your money is good at the door. However, if you want to plan ahead and buy tickets, go to the Heat clothing store in Montclair. The Heat is sponsoring this party. They're at 19 Elm Street in Montclair. And while you're there, you can also pick up, something to wear for the party. They got like the velours. They got the tight jeans.
The brand new shipment of throwbacks.
They have the brand new shipment of throwbacks, in the store. Oh, they have throwback jersey dresses. Like not the second one that Mariah was wearing, the long Wizards one, but the shorter one. They've got dresses just like that at the Heat right now. As a matter of fact, I think I might wear, I have one from the Orlando Magic. It's a blue one. I think I might wear mine to the party on Friday. It's a basketball jersey. I guess you know that, though, if I say Orlando Magic, though, right? Yeah, it's sleeveless. See, it'd be somebody like me who doesn't care about sports. I wouldn't have known. You guys, why is it that I felt that Charles Barkley's send-off from the NBA was more moving than Michael Jordan's? Now, I'm only saying this because I happen to have witnessed Charles Barkley's send-off. I remember it specifically. Kenny Rogers came out and sang Through the Years, and they showed Barkley playing. And I'm not even a sports aficionado, and I started crying when Barkley got sent off. Do you remember that? And then they showed Barkley's wife, or his baby's moms, I don't know, the kids. I mean, it was just, it was great to see Michael Jordan send off and everybody's clapping. And Mariah, I thought, did a wonderful job. She gave a little mini concert and everything. But in terms of how I felt sitting at home watching it, because I didn't stay in Atlanta for the All-Star game, I wanted to come back, I felt more emotionally moved by Barkley, and he's not near the player that Jordan was. But I'm talking about in terms of...
Michael keeps coming back, though.
Is that why?
It was emotional the first time. He keeps coming back and back.
Is that why his wife chose not to show up? Because not for nothing. I don't care what kind of problems are going on in your marriage. For important events, you need to present a united front. Like, you know what? All that mess is in the past. Yeah, he's a philanderer. Yeah, I wanted to sue him for divorce, but guess what? For today... I love him, and I'm standing by my man. And he bought me this Gucci outfit. Cameras flash on me and our kids. Right? And somebody pointed out to me, well, maybe she decided not to show up because he's been such a rotten husband.
Are they together?
What? What's wrong with my headphones? You know what? I don't know whether they're together or not. But, if they were together...
She'd be there.
Or maybe she just doesn't want to deal with it. All-Star Weekend's nothing but a pimp and hoe fest. Past the game. You know what's up. Jordan down there in Atlanta.
Blonde hair, blue eye.
Blonde hair, blue eye chicks. Exactly. But you want to know what? Then in that case, why don't you just take the Concorde in for just the game? sit, you know what I'm saying? Because I can understand her not even wanting to be around the whole, groupie scene and stuff. And, he's a philanderer. Let him do what he wants All-Star Weekend. But you know what? I'm going to come in with the kids, and we're going to be shuttled right to the arena. And then right after that, we're jumping on the same plane. The plane's not going to even turn off the engine. And we're going to get on the next thing smoking back to Chicago. Right? I mean, not even his mother. They didn't even show his mother. Like, was his mother there? Were any of his kids there? I was watching the whole thing. They never, even when Mariah was singing, though, they only showed Michael Jordan watching her sing one time. I don't know whether you were counting that. See, I was counting. See, when Kenny Rogers was singing through the years to Barkley, you can tell these are the only 2 NBA send-offs I've ever seen, right? Because they're the only 2 I have to compare. But when Barkley was signing, getting his NBA send-off, they showed him back and forth. It was between Kenny Rogers and Barkley sitting there, getting emotional. Now, I understand that Mariah's a lot more beautiful and captivating than Kenny Rogers. Maybe they gave, they weren't taking the camera off her because everybody was mesmerized, with her diva deluxe-ness. And it was deluxe. I'm just saying, where was Juanita and the kids and his mom?
Maybe that wasn't his official send-off. Maybe he'll have it later on in the season. Back in Washington or something.
You think that'll be... But All-Star Weekend is All-Star Weekend.
Yeah, but Michael didn't really officially start. He was given his starting job. It wasn't really that grandiose.
Hi, Bob. It's Bob Lee.
He has a shirt on or off?
His shirt is on, thank God. I would pink slip him or something. I would send a memo. You know how you can do citizens arrests, in the street? Can't you do a citizens right up here? Even though I'm not a boss, you know what I'm saying? Takes off that damn shirt. Why I order. Anyway, just an observation. Oh, the Fuchsia Fashion Show on Friday was great. But you know what? We have guests in the other room. I'll talk about the Fuchsia Fashion Show any moment now. Focus, Wendy, focus. Minister Kevin Muhammad is in the other room, and he's getting ready to come in and speak to us. He is the New York representative of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. He replaced Conrad Muhammad. Do I have that correct? No, I don't. Wait, one person is nodding yes, and one person is nodding no. All right, well, we'll get to the bottom of it, okay? Is that you, Minister Kevin? Okay, all right. And his backup boys. All right. Minister Kevin in the other room. Is that a side part in his hair? Does he have the side part? No, he doesn't have the side part. Okay.
It's clean, though.
Oh, yeah, he's clean. Clean as the Board of Health. Monogram, sleeves.
Look at the boy on the right. He ain't smiling.
Oh, yeah. Because somebody's got to keep a straight face. I'm surprised Minister Kevin is smiling. This show does that to people, though. People come in here with the screw face. They swear they don't want to smile. It's all about the business. Then we say something, make them smile. Yeah. Minister Kevin, though, is going to speak with us about the state of the country. And I've got a sidebar with him and ask him about the state of Michael Jackson.
Oh.
Sorry, Minister Kevin. And the state of R. Kelly and the state of Whitney Houston.
This is Wendy Williams' experience.
This is the Wendy Williams experience. I'm going to ask you the state of Reverend Sharpton running for president. Okay. And I'm going to ask you some other things, too. We're going to talk about, your agenda, but I have some other things to ask you, too, okay? I also want to ask you about the Suge Knight versus Shaq state of what happened out in L.A. Do you know anything about that? He knows a little something about it. Did you hear that on this show, or do you know something about it from within? He knows something beyond the show about it. Okay, good. All right. I told you all that story last week, right? Suge stepped to Shaq and was like, give me a number. I'd like to do some business. Shaq gave Suge the beeper number. When Suge called the beeper number, he was insulted. A damn beeper number. So next time Suge sees Shaq out in the street, he steps to him a little harder. You see what I'm saying? Nothing threatening, just a little harder. And so then Shaq picks up the phone and places a call to the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. And next thing you know, Suge gets a paid a visit, and then Suge falls back off the Shaq situation. So I'm going to ask Minister Kevin about that as well. All right, we're going to do some advice right now. And, you guys, what are you doing February 26th? That's a Thursday. Come to a play with me. Come to a play. You want? All right, good. This is going to be the Deborah Cox play where every time she comes out on stage, we're going to clap. We're not going to let her do her lines because we just want to show her that we love her. Kind of like Michael Jordan last night at his send-off, right? Everybody's just clapping. I loved it. They're clapping. Just clapping for him. Yeah, the claps were drowning out his talk and everything. Deborah Cox is going to be in our town for Love on Layaway. It's about a woman running to the altar and the man that she's trying to marry running away from the altar. So the play stars Deborah Cox and Mel Jackson from Soul Food. Martha Wash is in the play from the Weather Girls, and Lenny Williams, the legendary soul singer. So the play is going to be in town February 25th to March 2nd. February 25th to March 2nd. And it's going to be here in New York at City Center. If you've never been to a play, I'm urging you to go see this one. This is going to be a good one. It's packed with comedy and inspirational messages, as well as show-stopping singing. It is Deborah Cox, after all. Nobody ever criticized her voice. I just can't figure out how come her recording career has never gotten the proper jump off. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she stripped down for the men's magazine. She was in there with nothing more than a piece of dental floss. What magazine was that? Smooth magazine. I mean, she's done all the things that a person does when they want attention. She keeps her weight down. She keeps her hair woven.
The market is just too flooded.
She shows up at Hugh Hefner's Playboy Mansion parties. She's Clive Davis's, new protege. There's nothing wrong with the way she sings. I just can't figure out why it is that Deborah Cox's career is just, you forget she's there. So now she's resorted to acting as well. And I only ask these questions out loud because I'm sure these are questions that you think about in your head, But I'm going to support Deborah Cox in her play debut, Love on Layaway. February 25th to March 2nd at City Center in New York. And I'm going to give you the box office telephone number there where you can get your tickets. Okay, it's 212-581-1212. Now, you can go any day you want between February 25th and March 2nd. However, the day that I'm going to the play, this is unofficially called Wendy Williams Night at the play, only because I would love for you guys to be there with me so we can make it a whole experience night. It's going to be Thursday. What did I say, the 26th? I meant the 27th. Thursday, February 27th. Okay. I'm going to the early show. I guess that would be like 7:30 or 8 o'clock. That's when I'm going to be there. And I'm going to be leading the claps every time Deborah comes on stage. And that'll be a lot because she's the star of the show. She's going to try to read her lines. And before she even gets to read and she enters the stage, and what happens? And then she tries to read her lines. And the claps are just so loud that you can barely hear. Here she is right here. She's trying to read. I just want to show her love. I just want to let her know, that, in this flooded sea of R&B chicks, you know what I'm saying? That we love her. So I'm going to go on Thursday, February 27th. Like I said, Thursday, February 27th. If you're thinking about going to this play, pick my night. Otherwise, just do it, when you're able to go. And like I said, it's in town, February 25th to March 2nd. But I'm going to go on Thursday, February 27th, okay? Okay. It's Deborah Cox. Deborah Cox. She's married. She's pregnant. I knew nothing about any of it. That's how much we pay attention. All right, let's get to advice. Dear Wendy, I need some advice on a situation. You see, I've been married for 4 years to a lovely woman. When I met her, she had a son who was 2 when I met her. I grew to love him very much. It was my understanding that the father was nowhere to be found. Recently, while out with some friends of ours, somebody pointed out that this guy was the father of my son. Now, he's calling me because he's now married to the mother and has grown to love the boy. Somebody pointed him out, and this is the father of my son. Should I confront my wife about this because this guy has been around and could have done something to help her out before I came along, or should I just let it pass? Well, have you adopted the son? Because if you're married to his mother, like I would want to, if I was a guy and I met a woman, had a 2-year-old son, grew to love him very much. They've been married now for 4 years. I'd want to adopt him. I'd want to make it official. This is my son. Give him my name. So there's no odd man out in this family. You're my son. You're my wife. We are family. Yes, I do think you need to confront your wife because she might be lying about him not being in the picture. And I'm not talking about in terms of sexual pleasure. I'm talking about in terms of maybe she was too embarrassed to let you know that her baby's father is around and such a dud that he wasn't sending money. Or maybe he is sending money and she's using it to go to Annie Says. Or maybe he holds such a big secret to your wife's past that she doesn't want you to know. But the thing about confronting your wife, the main reason about confronting is, all right, then let's track him down and get him to sign off on the adoption papers so I can adopt this lovely little bunchkin. Although, beware, you might find something out about your wife that you didn't want to know. Like that she's a straight up liar about such an important thing as to whether or not the son's father's around. So I would start with confronting your wife in a non-confrontational kind of way. So confront is probably the wrong word to use because confront means something nasty. I would have a conversation with your wife. And the conversation should be based on that you want to adopt a son. And you've been thinking about it all along. And that you were out with your boys and somebody pointed him out. And don't let her blow you off. And being that he's around, you might have to hire a private investigator. If you need to hire one of those, you get back to me. Because I'm all for a PI. Whether it's finding a baby's father, or tailing your girl to see if she's cheating. Or finding your long-lost friend from college. Nothing like having the number of a PI at your fingertips. Page 135 of my book, which will be out fall of 2003. Oh, yes. All right, let's take a break. Sir, I wish you a lot of luck over there in Brick City. I'm sure you were very disturbed. Did you want to go up and punch the guy? I mean, Jeez. Yeah, I start with talking with your wife because there's something going on. Why would she lie about something like that? I mean, not in the picture. To me, not in the picture means not only is he sending money, but he's nowhere around, like he's not to be found. But if you were at the local bar and you saw him, not only is he in the picture, but he apparently lives in the hood. Like in your neighborhood or in your town or at least in the New York. He's listening to this broadcast. Yeah. Talk to your wife. And I wish you luck. All right, we're going to take a break. We've got Minister Kevin Muhammad, like I said, in the other room, and we're going to talk with him during the next advice segment because with talking, I'm sure there's something that you'll learn. So we will be speaking with him in our next segment, and we're going to take a break, and we'll be back with more of the Wendy Williams Experience next on 107.5 WBLS.
Wendy's on the tip of who? Stop that. Get your mind right. Wendy Williams, WBLS. Here's what's going on around town at 107.5.
Top of the dial, top of the city.
WBLS.
Hi, this is Charles Mitchell. Weekends here at WBLS, reminding you to set the mood for the evenings with WBLS Loves House. Weekdays, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Brought to you by the New York Lottery's new instant game, Heart of Gold, with a chance to win a top prize of $5,000. You must be 18 or older and claim your prize in New York.
BLS.
WBLS has got your tickets to see Freddie Jackson and Olisa Adams in concert at the Brooklyn Center for the Performing Arts this Friday. Listen to win.
BLS.
Join Eddie Love Valentine's Day at the Terrence Club, 1938 West Main Street in Stamford, Connecticut. Doors open at 5 p.m. and flowers for all the ladies.
And that's what's happening.
R&B and hip-hop connect.
At 107.5 WBLS.
Was I the only one who walked away with Michael? I mean, not only did he change his looks, I guess, to combat whatever his father did to him, which other than throwing him against the wall, which we never heard that before. I mean, yeah, the beatings with the belts and, maybe the backhands and, you might get backhanded across the room, and we pretty much all assumed that. But weren't you clutching your pearls when Michael said, and sometimes he would throw us against the wall? Throw against the wall. That's a pickup and throw down. And ladies, Kate Jackson needs to be thrown out of the Strong Girl Club. She just needs to be left on some island somewhere to think about what she's done to her son as well. Because you know what? That mother loving her son and loving her children, the matriarchal thing. You are no matriarch. Matriarch is a title reserved for a strong woman. You're just some woman who was in the house, yes, dearing, while your husband was throwing down on his side, Jones, and your kids. Right? Yeah. Don't let me hang out here alone, although I will. She was a victim too. But you know what? Why didn't she pack up her kids and leave?
How you gonna be a poor woman and pack up 8 kids and just leave like that?
Poor women do it every day, don't they? Poor women do it every day.
Throw her out the club then.
She's been out of the club since Thursday night at 11:01. Miss Diane Sawyer, that interview was right up there with your Whitney Houston interview. That one was that was a good one. You think those kids came out of Michael Jackson's penile area? I don't. No part of them. I was talking to somebody. Might have been one of the nurses at the hospital. Damn them. How you guys? Just a lot of questions at a time when I really didn't want to talk about. I wasn't coming in the hospital as Wendy Williams. I was Wendy Hunter there. She's a different woman. Anyway, somebody said, well, I think that the little girl with the brown hair, it could be. I was like, why are you saying that? Just because she has brown hair? And then he said that the newest baby, the one that we saw him attempt to feed, looked like he was about to snap her neck, though. She was on the bed, on his lap. Yeah, strangle her. I mean, that wasn't even a thin, like, Fendi veil or something, made of some imported material. That was a straight-up wool blanket from Kmart, looked like type. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, even the little kids had on thin veils that they could breathe through. The baby looked like the baby was suffocating. And Debbie Rowe saying Michael's a good father. Michael's is, oh, well, shut up and go count your money. You know what I'm saying? Because money is the great equalizer in this whole entire travesty. If this had been me or you, and then Michael said, you know what? We need to take a break. But before we do, I've got to shout out to Jessica. They call her Jessie. Jessica, Serena, Cindy, and Renee. They're all driving back from All-Star Weekend. As soon as I get in the studio today at 2 o'clock, Serena's on the telephone, or Jessica's on the telephone with me on the cell phone, screaming at me about the mansion party. Well, you know what? That was Tough Girl Entertainment, and we'll talk about that, too, as the show continues. No, Trina didn't perform. Trina came in and got herself a piece of cake and left. Trina charging somebody a fortune to go to the party, and no, the clips did. What?
Oh my gosh.
Big Cat was good though. I was there.
Do we want to hear about this?
I was. Yes, you want to hear about it because I feel as though because when Jessica called, the first thing she did was say, "Wendy, what happened with your party?" I said, "Freeze. That was not my party," and I thought I made that clear on the radio. That was Tough Girl Entertainment. How many times did I say Tough Girl Entertainment? Every time I mentioned it, right? I was Wendy for hire that night. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, when you do this job on the radio, I mean, yeah, when you hear me say there's a Dons and Divas party, then that's my party, that's my people, they're the promoters and so on and so forth. But when I'm doing other things, that's Wendy for hire. Because when you're a DJ or, you do stuff, people hire you to host their stuff, So I'm a worker that night.
You were a contractor.
Exactly. I was a contracted player that night. I was contracted like Big Cap, like Trina, like the Clips. I was contracted. I was flown down there. I was put up in a hotel. I was sent a limo. I was sent, paper to work the party. And I did my job. But Jessica thought that it was my party, so she thought she was calling and blaming Jessica. I understand. She was just so mad. She said she wanted to fight her girlfriends.
Your job was just to show up.
My job was to show up and say hey and ho, and I did that. Yeah. Wendy Williams, New York is up in this piece.
It's your birthday.
It's your birthday now. All right. Somebody get me some more champagne. Damn it. Because I put that in my contract when, I'm for hire. I need some champagne, All-Star Weekend, we up in Keith Sweat's lawyer's house partying. The mansion was occupied. How are you going to party around somebody's crystal? See, when you shut up, pull your mouth off the floor. Now, all I'm saying, right, is that when you are going to rent out a mansion or anybody's house, a big house, a mansion, whatever you want to call it, the people cannot be still living in the house. Because A, there's too much furniture, so there's no room to dance. B, there's too much furniture and no room to dance. People were just standing around. Now, shout out to Puffy. Back when we used to get along on a regular basis, and he didn't actually invite me to stuff, and I actually cared about going because I was new in the industry and, didn't know what kind of life I wanted to lead. Did I want to live a life of, pimping and hoeing? Or did I want to settle down and one day and get married and have a family? You know what I'm saying? I couldn't decide. I was at that fork in the road, So I took the hip-hop route for a moment there. I strayed out. This is I was a single woman, it was back in the early 90s, and I get this invitation from Puffy. I forgot what grandiose event it was. It might have been like New Year's Eve or something. The man rented out a mansion out in Long Island. It might have been upstate. I don't know. You know what I was doing back in the early 90s. Everything's pretty much a fog. But one thing I do remember is walk in the spot. There was nobody living in there. It was a big-ass house, right? As soon as you walk in the front door, the grand damn foyer was the dance floor. Whoa, the party was popping. As soon as you walk in, right, the whole place was empty. So it was a party. It was fun. It was a party. But, I guess you live and you learn. But anyway, yeah, the mansion ends up that it was Keith Sweat's lawyer's house. And might I add, he was there. Don't put that out over there. Take your feet off my Persian rug from Persia. Don't sit with your... he was there. It's like partying with your parents home. Anyway, everybody. Oh, we've got so much to talk about. Joe Millionaire tonight. Will it be Zora or Sarah? But we've got to take a break right now. 212-545-1075 is the telephone number. The fax machine is open at 212-447-5211. We're going to take a break. We'll be back. I'm Wendy Williams. And, I feel like I haven't talked to you in a month of Sundays. So needless to say, soft on the music, hard on the talk today. 107.5 WBLS.
Holding down the NYC. Wendy Williams, The Wendy Williams Show, WBLS. Egypt's got middays on lock.
If you don't know, you better ask somebody.
This is Denise. Egypt, I've been calling you since you got on the air.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Egypt, you are crazy. Crazy.
Girl, I just called to say hi.
How you doing?
This is Becky from the Bronx. Let me tell you something. Keep doing a good job. I love you, girl.
I played it a little earlier for you.
Yes, you did. You played it right on point. Thanks for showing me love, Egypt.
No doubt, girl.
I'm just calling about the last subject you just spoke on.
Girl, God bless you. I'm calling on the cell phone because my boss got the lines tied up at the office.
It's Egypt in the midday.
Don't touch that dial.
With R&B and Hip Hop Connect.
On 107.5 WBLS. Broadcasting live from 34th and Park. It's the queen of radio.
Don't move a muscle. I've got all the details. All the info you need. Because I'm not saying.
You are more than just my friend in my head. Oh, my God.
Who lives like that? He's got to be the biggest fool. This story is just so unbelievable.
Wendy?
107.5 WBLS.
Oh, I was just saying, hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Wendy Williams Experience. I was just saying, I feel so, like on a scale of 1 to 10, if this is a car, I feel like I'm driving at 150 miles an hour today. My eyes are wide. I feel like amped, and all of a sudden, all the hunger that I had before I came in here is gone. You know how sometimes you just feel so, like, it's good stress, though. I hate missing work. And then you could tell I'm hyper, right? My parents had the nerve to take me to the doctor when I was younger to get me a prescription for Ritalin, but it was to control my weight. But Ritalin, controls hyperactivity in kids. I guess I didn't display as much hyperactivity when I was younger or something. I could use a shot of Ritalin right now. Anyway, Marisol says, you know what? I understand what you're saying, and believe me, and you left one thing out. She says, Wendy, you know what I've noticed about you? You are always missing in action from the airwaves the minute before you have to fly somewhere. What is with that? And did you ever notice that most of the time when I take off, like a snafu happens, it's a Friday? You forgot to mention that. See, for anybody else but me, I would be suspicious of trying to squeeze out a longer weekend or trying to make more of a vacation. But no, that is not it. But you know what? It does happen. Something always does happen on a Friday, right? I was at the hospital, Marisol. The good thing about this job, or at least about, like my track record, which you guys wouldn't know, I guess, because, I talk at you. But people who run the offices of any radio station where I worked at, one thing they've always known is that you couldn't ask for a dreamier worker in terms of, showing up, getting the job done, and so on and so forth. So I might be the only person in this entire establishment who wouldn't get badgered for doctor's notes and stuff. Like, if I say it, it's true. I'm not missing work just for some crap. But just in case they did, I always have my doctor's notes,
We don't like snow days here.
Yeah. It's like a snowy day on Friday. I rolled over at 7 o'clock and said, oh, hell no, I'm not going to work. No, that's what you all do with your jobs. Me, I'll grab a dog sled in a minute over the George Washington Bridge. Crystal Dennis, who works at Verizon in Shrewsbury, said she was here, first of all, Friday for lunch. She said even though she had an amazing time on Friday, she wants to thank Hollywood and Rich and Jason, the intern, Gwen, Crazy Art, and Fabulous Dave. She said Anton Quad did it again. The other divas, Wendy, feel like old friends. I couldn't believe how down-to-earth and comfortable everyone was. And even the receptionist was a sweetheart. Bob Lee is a looker, and he is... I thought Bob Lee wasn't allowed in the room with the ladies anymore.
He was in there.
Damn Bob Lee.
He started doing push-ups with his shirt off.
Did he?
Yeah.
You are lying.
Yeah.
Girls like that, though.
He was doctor that day again.
Oh, he got his medical license back. Okay, he was Dr. Bob Lee. Women love doctors. Shout out to Bob Lee. Thank you, Bob. You know what? I just checked with Gwen, who helps us organize the Dons and Divas extravaganzas, our first Friday's lunches. And so Gwen did say it would be the first Friday in March. So we're going to have the same crowd back again, and we're going to do it up big. It's going to, because I'm so glad, and I thank everybody, Art and Gwen and Dave, you and Bob Lee. Thank you for entertaining my girls and guys. But we got to do it again. I got to be here. How fabulous did Mariah Carey look in both ensembles? Shut up. If you don't think she looks fabulous, I just have to say, then you're hating. Particularly the long Wizards dress. And you want to know what? She did exactly what a diva should do when they go on stage. Sometimes your presence is so much you don't have to dance and act a fool. You can just stand and just strike a pose. You know what I'm saying? And toss your head back. Did you notice she did the diva move with her hair every time she finished? I was bravoing. I was cuckooing. Mariah, if you're back in the city already, fabulous.
She's back.
Fabulous. she looked really good, just fabulous. I was definitely feeling the jersey dresses. I'm going to take caller number 10 right now on the telephones. You got to be 21 or older. You want to party on Friday night? It's the WBLS live broadcast for Valentine's night from the Robert Treat Hotel in Newark, New Jersey. Now, I'm going to be hosting this party, and DJ Anton Qua is going to be doing the music. Joe Buttons is going to be performing Focus and Pump It Up, and he's cute. Girls like to look at Joe Buttons. He's from Jersey City. He's got a baby's mom's. So he comes with a little baggage. But he's not with her, though. He came on the show one time and said he's not with her, you know. So, shout out to Joe Buttons. And we're looking forward to seeing you on Friday. And if you're caller number 10 right now, you're going to pick up passes for... Oh, yes, and Raekwon. Have we locked down Raekwon for a performance, or is he just good for poo-poo juice at the bar? Okay. Well, Raekwon, we like him to be there, whatever he's doing. So, caller number 10 gets those passes right now. Artie's going to get to the phone in 1 minute, you guys. Who do you think Joe Millionaire is going to pick tonight, Sarah or Zora? I am so not going to be there to see it. I am so mad. I got 3 book meetings this week. I'm trying to, Yeah, see, the thing is that Karen does it, and then she wants me to read it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm one of those hands-on people, like Oprah is. I'm trying to think of somebody who has got a lot of responsibility, who just is very hands-on. You know how Oprah says she doesn't write her own checks, but she looks through them every, first. Like a lot of, really wealthy people have no idea what's going on in their ciphers and all like that. Oprah's one of those, she wants to oversee everything. I guess you call that a control freak. Although I'm not large like Oprah, but I'm one of those types of people. Like, I would never just, even though Karen is a well-respected writer, I just don't want her to just write the book and then put it out there. I want to read every last word. So I've got that meeting tonight. And there's no way I'm going to be home in time for Joe Millionaire. And I realize that it repeats on Thursday. But I need to hear what goes on. From what I understand, because Regis and Kelly were talking about it this morning, and Kelly was saying that, whoever he picks tonight lives her life for 1 week thinking that she won the contest and that he's worth $50 million. So he's not going to tell her until next week that he's broke. Shout out to Cuban Links. I saw Cuban Links at Cheetah on Friday night. Yeah, I know what you're saying now. Wait, you were in the hospital Friday, but you managed to go to Cheetah. What, did I just bust myself out? Oh, God. I wasn't supposed to say that? Oh, hell. I also went to a fashion show on Friday night. I have to be checked out, though, at the hospital. You know what I'm saying? Look, I got all my papers. People at the radio station might be looking at me crooked-eyed now. I got all my paperwork. I brought it to work with me today just in case. But I could not, and I could have kept going to Cheetah a secret, and also Claudette's fashion show. Claudette is Wyclef's wife. But I met Miss Patti LaBelle and Miss Janice Combs, and we were taking pictures together. And the paparazzi, it was paparazzi who was taking the pictures, which is different from somebody holding a camera. Paparazzi is one of the people with the big camera, and then the light that they hold up here, and then there's like 20 of them clambering around taking pictures. And the paparazzi was calling it a Diva Deluxe picture. Yeah, it was the 3 of us. And Miss Janice Combs was so nice, and she never mentioned her son. She's just glad that we liked the food from her restaurant.
Very good food.
And Miss Patti LaBelle was like, I can't believe, because that was my first time meeting Miss Patti LaBelle. I never met her before, and I kept calling her Miss Patti LaBelle. I called her full name, Miss being her first name. And Miss Patti LaBelle was there with Ben Vereen, and I met Ben Vereen. He looks good. I mean, he is very well preserved. That Ben Vereen looks good.
10-speed and brown shoe.
10-speed and brown shoe. He looks good. I have to talk more about the fashion show because I think Wyclef and Claudette, they are really a great example of a couple that supports each other. And the clothes were beautiful. Well, I'll talk more about... to say today. We got the winner, by the way, for the Robert Treat Hotel Friday, Wanda Jones is going to be in the house. Wanda Jones out of Roselle, New Jersey. Wanda, you know you can bring a friend with you, right? And you know that the party is casually chic. So which means that you can wear jeans or you can wear, a velour, or you can wear, a throwback, or you can wear, Air Force Ones. You can wear your hair in an up sweep, a down do, whatever, Wanda. Just, you know how to do it, Wanda. Okay. That's my sister's name, Wanda. So I'll see you on Friday at the Robert Treat Hotel. It's a WBLS live broadcast, and I'm going to be hosting the party, and we're going to be broadcasting on the air, and DJ Anton Qua is going to be there, Red Kwan's going to be there, and Joe Buttons is going to be performing live. So it all goes down Friday at the Robert Treat Hotel. I know some of you are too impatient, like I would be, to call in a damn radio station to win tickets, because I would be like that. You know what I'm saying? I would just go out and just buy the tickets. But if you would like to go out and purchase your tickets in East Orange, you can get them in Illtown Unisex on Main Street. In East Orange, you can get them at Clothing Inc. on Main Street. In Paterson, New Jersey, you can go to King of Detail. In Jersey City, Monique's Tech. In Jersey City on Bergen Avenue. In Newark, La Mazique's Unisex on Halsey Street. In Elizabeth at Vogel Records. And, of course, in Montclair, otherwise known as Montclair, at The Heat clothing store. And while you're at The Heat purchasing your tickets, The Heat, by the way, is at 19 Elm Street in Montclair, New Jersey. And while you're purchasing your tickets, you can purchase something cute or handsome, men, to wear for the party, because The Heat has the kind of clothes that you dress for this party for. And The Heat happens to be sponsoring the party. Shout out to all my friends at The Heat. I got a lot of compliments, Heat, on my All-Star jacket this weekend. Guy in the airport wanted to buy it right off my back. A white guy with a southern accent. And his wife was with him, and she was my size. And he was ready to write me a check right there for $4,000 for my All-Star jacket. Can you believe that? That's the second offer I've had on it. $3,600 from the woman who saw me on TV with it on, and $4,000 from this guy. And I can't figure out whether I'm stupid or not because I didn't sell it. But I'm just holding out for eBay 10 years from now. You know what I'm saying? All right, we need to take a break. What one song are we playing next hour?
Whitney and Bobby.
All right. We could play two. What else are we going to play?
50 Cent.
Okay. All right. And maybe one more, but I don't know. Because I feel like when I'm not here, I got so much to catch up with. All right. We'll be back, everybody. I'm Wendy Williams, and we're here until 6 on 107.5 WBLS. How you feel? Yes, 107.5 WBLS, where R&B and hip-hop connect. I'm Wendy Williams in New York City. And there is snow falling all over the city right now. I'll tell you, the visibility is what? Your hand right in front of you, and that's it? The snow is falling like crazy. I didn't even know the snow was coming. Did you guys know that we were going to be getting snow? Did they say that on the news?
Yeah.
How many inches are we supposed to be getting?
I'm not sure here.
About 5 inches? I thought we were going to have 7 inches or more. 3:15. Good afternoon, friends, and thanks so much for being